Okay, so once you got your clock spring in place, you want to make sure that you turn it all the way to the left. Okay, you can go ahead and count all the revolutions if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a quarter. All right. So what you want to make sure is that you turn it back 2.5 times at least. All right. So 1, 2, a little bit more because I needed to be up here on the top. So when I put my steering wheel back, it lines up. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and finish putting this together and see if how everything works. We got your connections on the top and the bottom, which there's actually 3 connections on the bottom, but one of mine wasn't connected. So you got those 2 connections. You can't mix them up because they actually go in like a pattern shape. So the pattern has to go back correctly, and then there's only one on the top. You got the clip and the 2 screws. And then you make sure you take the retainer off and you do your little spins. I got my connections snapped in place to make sure that they're on tight. Now we go back and line it up. You got to make sure you feed these through on your steering wheel. Now when you go and you put this back, it lines up itself. Like I said, there was a notch that's on the top that goes on the steering wheel. The only thing you're going to do is do a little fine tuning. If you can see in there on the steering wheel itself, it has a little dot, and then on the bolt it has a line. So if you line those 2 back up, you'll be straight. I made a little line thinking I was going to need to, but once the nut came off, I saw exactly where it needed to go. On top of that, that knot that we was using to spin the wheel with has to go in the center to go on the steering wheel, and then this feeds right in a certain spot. So once you get the wires through, that little piece where the wire actually comes through on, this little white spot here, lines the wires up perfectly, one on each side, to come through your steering wheel like so. So I made the connection here. I'm gonna put my nut back, start putting my things back together, and check. Now the reason why I made this swap is because I had no horn and none of my accessories worked on my steering wheel. When I had them read the code, they pull up a code. One of the codes was that it could be the spiral cable, or better known as the clock spring. Alright, so that was my reasoning behind swapping this out. So I go ahead and put this back together and check it out. Okay, as you can see, I got everything back in place. We got your top and bottom pieces on. We got the bolt back on. We got our airbag back in place. To put these 10mm screws in, because it's on either side of the screw or the steering wheel, what I did was go ahead and turn the steering wheel sideways, because the bolt would fall out if I tried to do it on the top or the side. And I'm sliding it in the hole with my hand and screwing it until I feel it tight. That way I don't lose this bolt inside of this and have to take it all apart and do it all over again. Okay, so with everything back together, battery reconnected, the moment of truth. First thing I'm going to try is my horn. Yes! And we're going to crank her up. Oh, I had to check the lights that I put on. Mode on my radio. Yes! Oh, we back in business, baby. Radio working. My volume control is up. I haven't had this for months, guys. Months. Cruise control back on. Oh, yes. Well, another successful installation from a novice. Hey, go out there, try it, save your money, guys. It was well worth it.